Welcome. Good afternoon. 1 2 1 2. Hope you're all well. Gonna have a look at something a bit different today. So, let's get rid of that for a minute. Oh no, I need that. Let's check that. Okay, so. Hey, Ratty. Bang on time. Well done. Not that there is a time. There never is a time. I can never plan these things, so welcome. I'll have a look at the chats in a bit, okay? So what I wanted to do is go through this Las Vegas. Let me get rid of this for a minute. So, where's my photos gone? I had some photos here. Where are they gone? Oh, I did have some photos, but what we want to have a look at today is Stephen Paddock, okay? Stephen Paddock, if you listen to the official narrative on the Las Vegas incident, let's say, they want us to believe that Stephen Paddock wielded all that gun or arms. I don't know what you can say nowadays on internet, but they want us to believe that he wheeled all those guns into Las Vegas, into the Mandalay Bay Hotel, up to his room over a period of a couple of days. And they want us to believe that he shot at the concert goers. Now, that is a good possibility that he did do that, but there's conspiracies and thoughts and feelings that at the time there's proof that one of the windows wasn't even shot out at the time. So I want to start looking into this case. I know there's a man called John Cullan who's done extraordinary work on this. It is absolutely fascinating. Now, being from the UK, I don't know how a lot of other people haven't heard about this. So that's basically what we're going to have a look at. Let me just get a photo up of him. Yeah, so there's a photo of Stephen Paddock, okay? And the amount of gunfire that there was and the amount... Well, you'll see what I mean in a minute when I play this video for us to watch, but being from the UK, this was all very quiet. It was all very hushed up. No one ever talks about it. It's never, ever brought up. From what I can see, it's never been brought up. So there's Stephen there. From what I can see, this has never been brought up again. And I never hear about it. Being in the UK, I never hear about this at all. Now, given that it's supposed to be one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, shooting in American history. So let's go over a couple of things, okay? So on October the 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock opened fire on his 32nd floor suite at the Mandalay Bay, okay? Now, that'll come into feature very soon because they want us to believe that he shot out of one window. Two windows were broken, but when the police went in to investigate and the police went up to his room and Stephen was already dead on the floor, there was only one window broken. So, I don't know about you, but dead men can't break a window. So when the police are there and they're down below and they're shining up, you can hear it on the radio, them saying that the window isn't broken. So over the course of 10 minutes, Paddock fired more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition into the venue. The shooting resulted in 60 deaths and over 800 injuries. Now, I can quite imagine this has affected a lot of people, so trigger warning, and if you were involved, my heart goes out to you in this it's a tragic event. People are just insane. But this is why we want to look into it, because I think there was more than one person involved in this. This is the deadliest mass shooting in history. And it's never, ever talked about. It is never, ever talked about. He checked into the room 32135 on September the 25th and acquired the adjoining suite. So he had one side of the building and the other side. So he had the corner boxed off, basically. And he adjoined them. He put like a bracket on the building outside, on the doors outside. But what is even more conspicuous is he brought up 21 high-capacity suitcases containing 24 firearms, 23 rifles, and a handgun, thousands of rounds of ammunition. Apparently, because he was a high roller, hotel staff allowed him to use the VIP service elevators, which allowed him to avoid attracting attention. I'm not being funny. That would still attract attention, surely. Bag after bag after bag after bag. Even if you're a high roller, you would start to get a bit suspicious after a while, and security should have been suspicious. So that's what we're going to have a look at. I'm not going to go into too much the ins and outs, because we're going to go and do deep dive on this case, and we're really going to look into it. But that is what they want us to believe, okay, about Stephen Paddock. He was a high roller gambler. Now, there's rumors that he checked into his room with 3 women as well. So how he did this with 3 women in his room, unless they were agents, there's all sorts and twists and turns to this case, okay? So let me get rid of this PayPal thing for a minute. If you want to support the channels, PayPal there, and there's one in the bio, okay? Let me get rid of that. So there's Stephen there, okay? What we're going to do is this fella, this bloke, this John Cullan, he's fantastic. He's got some amazing stuff on his channel, and he's looked into this. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to watch it because he has a lot of music in between, and I think he fancies himself as some sort of CIA operative or something like that, but the work he's done is more than what I'd ever do. So I'm not bringing him down or slagging him off. I'm just saying this. If you can sit in between the music and the videos that he puts in between the interesting stuff, then he's got really, really interesting stuff on there. So, with that being said, let me get rid of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch this from John. This is one of his videos. Now, I've picked out one that's pretty easy to follow, because a lot of them go on for a while, and there's, like I say, there's music in between, and I'll be hit with copyright and all sorts. But let's watch this video, because if you're as half as shocked as what I was, then you'll be shocked. I mean, let's be honest. If you had a rifle going off, semi-automatic, fully automatic weapon going off in that window, you would see it, wouldn't you? You would see it. Blah, 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 blah. This is what first got me interested in this. When they said there was helicopters involved, then obviously this goes right to the top. You can't just fire a gun from a helicopter and get away with it in the middle of Las Vegas. And then when he goes into who it could be and why they did it, it's not in this video. This is just about the helicopters, but we will go into it.
Go, go! This way, this way. Come on. You're right. Keep coming. Keep going, keep going.
I mean, if you're going to deny that there was a helicopter there, you need your head testing. How did they think they would get away with this? But they obviously did, because what is it? 10 years later? More? Let me check. I think it's more. 2017, so nearly 10 years they've got away with just the official narrative, which is mind-boggling. How could they possibly think that they were going to get away with this unless they've had the green light to do it? That's the only way you'd get away with it. That's crazy. I know when they put this on the mainstream news, they cut out the body cam leading up to it, so you couldn't see the helicopter. They had the view from the street and they had the view of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, but I think it's like 15 seconds before in the run-up on this camera now, they left it out. So that is suspicious straight away. And all the news channels all ran with the same clip. So what does that tell you?
Come on. Keep coming. Keep going. Keep going.
It's crazy. Like I say, how do they think they get away with it? Got my headphones on. It does sound like it might be coming from the left. That's what I thought, Ratty. It's mental.
We're in a rally. The southwest corner. Let's rally up. Stand by one. I'll tell you where. Where are we rallying? And the venue. I don't know where the venue is. Let's follow these guys. You guys want to rally up somewhere near it? Just have them start. We're in a rally. The southwest corner. Let's rally up. Stand by one. I'll tell you where. Where are we rallying? And the venue. I don't know where the venue is. Let's follow these guys. You guys want to rally up somewhere near it? Just have them start. We're in a rally. The southwest corner. Let's rally.
I think there's 2 helicopters at this point at the same time. I mean, this is mind-blowing. And nothing has been made of this over in Britain. Nothing has been said about this.
I don't know where the venue is. Let's follow these guys.
And I know, what do they have in Vegas? They have those day trips where you can go out and shoot guns off a helicopter. Just saying. There's also 2 tanks. Now that was brought up before. The tanks were brought up before in the first, when the incident happened at first. The tanks were brought up, and they think they tried to blow up the tanks, but the security guard for Mandalay Bay was shot in the leg. But when you see the body cam of the security guard, he's got no wound on him, and he's hobbling round, but there's no wound there. And then he went on Ellen to give an interview with, I think, whoever it was his handler. And he disappeared after that. No one could find him. Everything was erased. So what games are they playing with this case? So we're going to start looking into this. And when I start looking into it, I'm not in a bad frame of mind, okay? So if I drop off the map, you know they've got me. I should be okay because John Cullan's done a huge investigation on this, and he's still alive, so thank God. And he's in America, so I think I might be okay over in Britain. Anyway, I'm not going to reveal anything that's not already out there, but you never know. I've been watching a lot of stuff with Bob Lazar, and you just never know, do you? Let's rally up. Stand by one. I'll tell you where.
I don't know where the venue is. Let's follow these guys.
So that's 3 helicopters. One's to the left, one in the middle, and there's one up the right now. I mean, they've obviously had the green light to do this, because after 9/11, you would think the Americans would be straight on the scene with a F-16 or whatever that they use. Surely they wouldn't let anybody dominate their airspace with machine guns. So I think that tells you all you need to know, really. Surely I think they must have known about this at least. But I mean, they've involved the members of the public again. So this video was made a year and a half after. Almost 1.5 years later, no one has put forth an explanation as to who owns these 3 helicopters and what are they doing. Well, they're obviously shooting, aren't they? And if they're shooting, why hasn't the government come out and said something? Like it was a training exercise. Just so happened to be happening at the same time. But they've said nothing, as far as I'm aware. So that was the first video, and the more I went into it, the more and more I looked at it, it was just incredible. I mean, I've never heard any of this. Let's watch one more, because it's just fascinating. When you watch his videos, John Cullan's videos, like I said before, he's done a great investigative series on this, but this music goes on every single video, so it does take quite a bit of, when you're watching video after video, it starts to get on your nerves a little bit. And then there's songs in between some stuff, but the investigative stuff is really, really good.
Also, I guess you are known as one of the fastest gunslingers in the world.
Yeah, well, I'm listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the fastest man with a gun who ever lived.
Oh.
There are 18 world records you can hold in this sport. I hold all 18 and have since 1960. And now I've won 3,500 trophies, 800 major championships as well. Pushed it. We've made a science of it. Fast draw is the fastest thing a human being does. Nobody does anything faster than what I do with guns.
Can you give it a comparison to something that would come close but is not as fast?
Speed of light, which is far beyond it.
Right.
Why is this the most damning footage yet? This cannot be a tourist helicopter. Well, I don't think a tourist helicopter would be shooting a machine gun out the side, surely, in the middle of Las Vegas at night. Maybe out in the desert, maybe, but not in the middle of where the Mandalay Bay Hotel is, surely. does sound as if it's coming from like above, but it would if he was from the hotel room. But it sounds higher than that. It does sound as if it's coming from like an aircraft or something, like higher up. Put in the comments what you think, because this is so strange. I didn't see nothing then. Yeah, I missed that the first time. You can see it. Wow, you can clearly see that's an aircraft, and you can see the muzzle flash. That is mind-blowing. Thing is, as well, if you're at the concert or you're on the pavement on the sidewalk there, you wouldn't really look up, would you? You'd think an active shooter would be coming from all around you. So it would be weird. And I know there is a body-worn camera where one of the officers gets shot, and none of the officers can tell where it's coming from. And you'd think them, with being trained in guns and ammo and shootings and different things, they'd be able to pinpoint a shooter straight away, and none of them can get it. None of them can find where it's coming from. These cannot be Las Vegas tour helicopters, I hope not, with machine guns. FAA rules for tourist helicopters. Number 1, must travel at 3,000 feet altitude. Number 2, must maintain 92 miles an hour. And number 3, must travel southbound over the 15 freeway. Okay. Does this footage explain why there were shots fired at Paris, shots fired at New York, the Bellagio, Planet Hollywood, Tropicana, Hooters, Excalibur, and Aria. It would make sense if it was coming from a helicopter above. Let me just go over the chat. Ratty, remember? Ratty, thank you. 2 months being a member. Thank you so much. You're on my Patreon as well, so thank you for that. You'll have a video coming just for you soon on Patreon. 1 paid member. Patty, hey Patty. Coming in late. What happened? Okay, so just to recap, the official narrative that Stephen Paddock wheeled all these guns and ammunition into the Mandalay Bay Hotel and started firing at concert goers. That's the official narrative. But what this footage shows is that there are helicopters in the area when all this was going on, and you can see muzzle flashes from the helicopters. I mean, what the hell is going on with this? I've never even heard of it. It's obviously been hushed. And any sort of aircraft that would be in the vicinity at that time, especially with muzzle flashes like that, I think must have had the green light to do it. And it's a very, very sensitive subject. I just don't understand why I've never heard about it. And the official narrative to this day is Stephen Paddock was a lone gunman. There's lots more to the case. I will be doing deep dives on it soon, but this live is just about determining that there were helicopters in the air at the time of the shootings. We will be doing a lot more on this because it's just blown my mind. Kay Wilson, hey Kay, thank you for your 6 months. Don't forget to hit the button, that's true. If you could all, one thing I will ask, if you could all hype the video at the end of the video, it does really help, I've noticed lately. So, and it does help because a lot of people only watch the Chris Watts stuff. Like YouTube for some reason doesn't push my other videos in front of people, so I really appreciate you guys being here. It's definitely there, isn't it? There's 3 of them. It seems everywhere I look, I find helicopters that appear to be shooting people. The other independent investigative journalists don't see it. Why is that? There's a whole load to this case. There's massive indiscrepancies about the windows being broken out, the security card being shot. Loads of stuff. There was a man walking his dog in the desert that said he could see the helicopters. There's all sorts of stuff for us to have a look at. But this live is to just, for me to show you that there's helicopters in the air.
Who's that?
We're trying to see where the shots are coming from. If anyone can advise if they're coming from Mandalay.
It sounds like it's either Mandalay or Buffalo. We do not know.
I'd have to check this as well, but I'm sure there was an autopsy done where one person was shot and the trajectory was straight down, which is impossible if it's coming up from Mandalay Bay. How were you shot straight down? It'd have to be someone above you. And like 3 helicopters shouldn't be in the air anyway, should they? Firing off shots. I just can't believe more people haven't made a fuss about this.
Something on your mind?
Just want to let you know you're sitting in my chair.
No, I don't think so, Patty. I don't think the mafia would be involved in this. This is way above their pay grade. Way, way above. Can you imagine having to get a green light on a helicopter shooting people? You would need you'd have to go right to the top for this to be able to happen. The mafia wouldn't be able to pull this off. You're talking black ops, in my opinion, obviously. Not that I'm like CIA or anything, you know what I mean? But I would imagine so. I don't think the mafia could pull this off, no way. They do all the muscle work and the stuff like, mind you, I suppose the mafia could have been involved in JFK, couldn't they, at the time? But when you're talking about flying aircraft and stuff like that, I think it would be above the mafia. I think everything else they could probably do, assassinations and all that, no problem. But when it comes to stuff like this, where you'd need a huge coordinated effort, I just think it's a lot bigger than the mafia. But those guys are pretty resourceful, mind. When we look into the theory of why it happened and why, or a possibility of why they did it like this, and it could involve a prince from Saudi Arabia, it goes way above the mafia. But I would just wanted this video to be about the helicopters.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, it's a fact.
Well, for a man that don't go healed, you run your mouth kind of reckless, don't you?
No need to go heel to get the bulge on a tub like skin.
To me,
On the other
but
hand,
both of the bullets are gone.
and the gun's empty, right?
Yeah.
An interesting psychological phenomenon is known as the ostrich effect, sticking your head in the sand. Maybe you're familiar with this. So many people, are rather nervous of opening their gas bill, or perhaps opening the envelope with their exam results in it. And even stock traders, we know, are less likely to log on and examine their portfolio performance when they know the market's been going down compared to when they know it's going up. So people have an aversion to discovering simple facts about what's going on around them. One needs to confront some realities and combat. And once you're aware of the fact that this is a general phenomenon, it's not just your own personal issue, maybe you can take strength from that and think about how to cope with it in a more empowering way.
So I think we can all agree that there are helicopters there, yeah? Put in the comments if you agree. If you think there's helicopters there. If you want me to do some more stuff on this, I think it's a case that there's a lot to look at in this. So I think we could look at this alongside the Chris Watts stuff. I do appreciate you all being here. Let me just check the chat. So the channel, the videos I do that are not Chris Watts, they don't get pushed as hard. So I do appreciate you guys. Let me remove that. Yeah, a lot of this stuff gets covered up. It's amazing how they can just cover it up. Marie, hey Marie. Yeah, so while they can just cover it up is amazing, like. But that's why I say I must go right to the top for this, okay? So I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you to Destronic for sponsoring the video. Go to destronic.co.uk. Use code Paddy if you want a motorized desk. And the PayPal thing is in the corner, or use the links if you want to support the channel. Memberships and all, it'll be in the first comments pinned, and they're in the bio as well. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, so much. Paddy out.